Today, we're getting into the tech space, technology startups and entrepreneurs, Ghanaians who are making major inroads not only in Ghana, on the continent and globally as well. My name is Alfred Okanse. Welcome to the special edition of Business Focus. We're coming to you from the Accra Digital Center. Welcome back, and we're getting into another set of startups who have been doing their own. They've taken their destiny into their own hands to create their own businesses, employ other young people as well. And Mohammed Mutaru is the CEO of Mandeyya IT Solutions. Kwesi Kofi is the CEO of DataWare, and they're here to tell us about how the journey of starting a tech startup in Ghana is. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's always great to have you join us. CEOs. Let me start off with you, Kwesi. Tell me about DataWare. What do you guys do, and how was it starting the business? That's really the focus.
Okay, let me start with how it was starting the business. So it was tough because the regulatory environment is not so friendly for startups. Off the bat, there are so many policies that you have to meet, and there are so many requirements.
You guys are singing the same chorus.
Well, that's the
regulatory environment is not favorable.
It is not favorable at all. I'll give an example with tax. A tax man. So we registered our business, and immediately we're given an assessment, and straight off the bat. Immediately. Once you register and you want to get running, they give you an assessment. Which, in my opinion, I felt was very arbitrary, because based on what are you giving me an assessment, they will just ask you a couple of questions to find out how much revenue you are bringing in, and then they give you an assessment. But that's very short-sighted, because there's so many things that can happen while you're operating. And so for a data person, for example, I didn't see any a data-driven way that they were making that assessment. So that was one challenge for me. So setting up, registering with your tax, with your SNIT, and all of those things, those were difficult.
Mohammed, tell me about Mandeyya IT Solutions, and especially the kind of challenges or how it was for you establishing this business.
Wow. Mandeyya IT Solutions, in fact, it actually came out of the need for a job, just like my colleague.
So you are unemployed?
In fact, getting out of school for the beginning, looking for a job became so difficult. Walking from one office to the other, looking for a place to also put what you practice in school into action. It was so difficult to an extent that one was feeling maybe one has to look for another course that one could do so that you can start something on your own instead of looking for somebody to employ you. So that is how the idea of starting my own business came about. I think what even precipitated that was through the some of the applications that were made. We had one of them call for an interview, and through that interview, whatever that I did from school, that was even an engineering background, they didn't see any of those things that I presented. What they saw in it was, as part of the things that I did, I had computer literacy. So they said they wanted to test me on computer literacy, to see whether I could show something on it. And in fact, that I failed miserably, because those times we would just do the computer on paper, and then I was there with presented with computer, printer, and some things like that to just show something that I could do, using a computer.
You didn't know how to operate it.
You can't believe it. I failed miserably. So through that, when I came out, I realized I would never. They just said they would file my things if I will hear from them. But I knew I would never hear anything again from them. So something just pushed me. Why not go and look for computing to do? And those times it was not that easy finding a.
Which year was this?
That was somewhere 2004, 2005, thereabout.
I see.
Yes.
So for you turned your problem or the challenge you had into an opportunity.
That was just it.
And that led you to
yes, that was what led to that. So I was just saying the next little money that I'll get, I'll find somewhere to look for a computing school to do. So by that time, that was what now was pushing me, you know. Yeah, so I just started that, and from where I started the computing, I got a bit of perspective as to what the IT world looks like. So that pushed me to go and do further course.
Because you talked about the challenge registering the business. The regulatory environment he describes as unfavorable. Did you have the same experience?
In fact, exactly. You know, when, you know, as a beginner, we thought, you know, first of all, you know, the corporate environment, when you are going in there, you don't understand. If I had known from the beginning, why would I have just gone in there to just register a business, instead of registering a company, why would I have started as maybe a venture kind of a startup, how do we call it? Just register an enterprise, you know. But we just went in to register as a company. Not knowing it comes with some level of responsibilities and stuff like that. So we had a lot of challenges. Even when we were about to open a bank account, we needed to have what's the name, auditors. You needed to have a whole lot of things that we needed to find ways to get around. It wasn't easy, especially the local governance environment. It is not favorable at all. They come in as if they are coming to penalize you for trying to make living for yourself. You know, that's how it looks like. A second challenge has to do with the confidence of the Ghanaian business towards Ghanaian product. Especially the area that we find ourselves, we do more of bigger applications, enterprise ERPs. For instance, we have two core applications that we sell: a core banking application and also an ERP, which is for the business environment from supply chain through warehousing, stores, and also.
So you have some resemblance of you develop some fintech products.
Yes, the banking application that we develop fintech enabled services. So we enable banks and savings and loans and those financial institutions that we work for to undertake those fintech to provide fintech services for their clients. That's how we do.
Do you also face this challenge of the lack of acceptance or the slow pace of acceptance for your product by Ghanaian businesses or companies located in Ghana? Mostly they would want you to get some legitimacy from, for instance, outside it. They know you have clients outside of the country, then they have confidence in you.
Well, I'd say our experience has been a mix. But for us, particularly because of the sensitivity of our platform, because it has to do with people's data. And so for any company that you would want to do business with, they first of all want to make sure that you are properly licensed by your regulator, who is the Data Protection Commission. Once you have that out of the way, then they want to check that your system that you have in place protect data, because they are running their data on your application. And so for us, we've had a longer sales cycle because you need to go through a lot of processes. And because we're a B2B business, we've had to go through a longer chain of decision-making processes. And so that has been what has dragged us. But we have a solid product that we have taken our time to build. And so once it's leveraging on AI, it's a new firm. It's a new technology in this part of the world. We've also found that we've had to do a lot of sensitization, do a lot of webinars, do a lot of workshops to get people to understand the value that they can get once they apply AI models to their data sets.
How many people do you employ?
We're currently a team of 7. 7.
And you, Mohammed?
We are 8 as of now, 8 permanently, but sometimes you get a job that requires you employ more hands, yes, but so permanently we have
startups
8,
are creating jobs and at least in their own way reducing the level of unemployment in this country. So finally, what are the specific interventions that you would need to help you, as it were, reduce your stress and the challenges in doing business so you can actually scale up, employ more people?
Okay, so I mean, for us, I'll say that we should look at ways of supporting businesses that are scaling up. A lot of these government organizations, a lot of even private companies have started ecosystems where they provide support services. Company like Starbuck Bank has an SD incubator, and that's where we came out of. And through their support, last year we won the Data Management Company of the Year at the Ghana Information Technology and Telecom Awards. And so that was good for us. And a company or a governmental institution like GEPA also having this fair and bringing to the doorstep of Ghanaian businesses these foreign businesses as well as local industries to come and see what the tech companies in Ghana have to offer. These kind of interventions are pretty good for us.
Super. Mohammed, finally.
Yeah, so what I also think is we would need a lot of government support in terms of if government institutions could patronize the local businesses. In fact, it will boost the credibility of those local.
That's the kind of support you need.
Basically, that's what because we have already
create the market for you.
Yeah. So, if for instance the government institutions, there are a lot of jobs that the startups or those of us in the industry could do for government, for those local agencies, ministries, whatever. Yes. So, if they give us those support by offering us some of the opportunities that are in those sectors, it will boost our credibility, it will boost the credibility of the local industry. Because, for instance, if just this kind of forum that we're having, I think this alone is enough to lift some of us to another level, to be able to get bigger, jobs that we could not have gotten. It's so important. Like I said, credibility is very important in the business that we do. If you have a government agency for you to just put in your record that you have provided an application like this for this government institution, in fact, a lot of other companies will have credibility, or we will find you credible enough to offer you more jobs.
Super. Thank you. Credibility is extremely important, and the interventions that Kwesi talks about as well. I really, really appreciate you sharing the experience with us. You're ready to take over the world, and we want to wish you all the best on this journey. Kwesi Kofi is the CEO of DataWare, and Mohammed Mutaru, also the CEO of Mandeyya IT Solutions. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We're so live here on Business Focus on TV3. We will be back shortly.